We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and via Skype. Live streaming on YouTube is very clear and audible. On Facebook, volume is somewhat low as I understand, but I do not know how to improve upon it. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. Tantra uses sex as a vehicle for transformation. Tantra uses sex as a vehicle for transformation. Sex is energy. Energy is constantly in motion. That's why it is considered as a vehicle. It can transform you, and it can give you a transcendental state, but we are using sex. It looks difficult for us to understand because we are using it in a wrong way, and this wrong way is not natural. Before I go into, let me go into something to explain. There are man and woman. They are part of the same process. Normally, if you are a man, you have attraction for a woman. This attraction is for the woman that is deep within you. The attraction is for that. Every man looks for that image in the women outside, and every woman looks for that image that is there in her, in man. Unless the woman or man inside is destroyed, you can keep on looking for the partners outside, man or woman, but there will be no result. Your attraction for the inner man or inner woman will constantly remain, and it will keep on surfacing. You will keep on involving in new imaginations, and nothing will happen. Every man has an image of a woman within him which he does not know what it is. He cannot decipher. Every man thinks that this is the type of woman I want. Every woman thinks this is the type of man I want to marry. And the attraction that we face outside for a man or a woman is a reflection of that image which is within you, about which you know nothing. We keep on searching that inner man or inner woman's image in outside world. You will be surprised to know that you marry a woman, you marry a man, and after a few days, after some time, you realize that she is not the type of woman that I need, or he is not the type of man that I need. This is not the woman of my imagination. This man is not the man of my imagination. you are always in search of that image which is there in you, man or a woman. And you think that if you get the person of your imagination, only then love will blossom. The search for that is very difficult in the entire world. You do not know who will fulfill the image of a man or a woman within you. You have created an image which is you yourself do not know. And unless and until you get the person of your imagination, there will be no fulfillment. How, and the Tao calls this as anima and animus. Science calls it the right brain and the left brain. Tantra calls it as Shiva and Shakti. Unless your inner man dissolves in the inner woman, or inner woman dissolves in the inner man, and you are neither man nor woman. I am not talking about biological, I am talking about psychological. It is the psychological image that is there in you, which you became aware of it. It's not that you have created this image. You get the feeling that there is an image of a man or a woman, and you think that you have created this image within you. But really it is not that you have created. It is, this image has been created for the process of transformation in you. Unless these two merge into one another, there will be no harmony. You are either left oriented or the right oriented. The right brain is dominant or the left brain is dominant. Or anima and animus, they are not balanced. The dissolution of the inner image in the outer image, or the outer image in the inner image, is the process of transformation. The moment the anima and animus dissolve into one another, Shiva, the male element, and Shakti, the energy field, they merge into one another. Or the positive current merges into the negative current, they dissolve into one another, they neutralize one another, then the illumination happens. And that illumination is transformation. When the anima dissolves into animus, animus dissolves into anima, out of that illumination happens, that is transformation. And this process is the ultimate aim of initiation. Bayat is not a ritual. It's a process how to dissolve the anima and animus in you, the male and female element in you, so that the process of transformation can begin. But we consider Bayat or initiation as a ritual, or sannyas as the word introduced by Osho. It was just for that reason. And this continues. So for that reason, Tantra uses sex as a vehicle. Vehicle means something which is in motion, constantly in motion. When you sit down, you cannot reach from one destination to another unless the vehicle is in motion. If you sit down in a car which has started, but the car has not been put into the gear. There will be no movement. The vehicle will be stationary. When the vehicle is moving, it is in motion, it becomes an energy field. Then it can take you from one destination to another. If sex is a vehicle, it is energy, it is constantly in motion, it can transform you, and it can take you, it can give you various transcendental states. As we are using sex, it looks difficult for us how sex can transform us, because there has been a conditioning, there has been wrong ideas put into our minds. Christianity has considered sex as a sin. Even animals are better than us. They are using it in a natural way. Our ways are perverted. Constant hammering on the human mind is there that sex is a sin. It has created a deep barrier within you and does not allow you to move into it. You never allow yourself a total let go. Something is always sending aloof. Something is standing aloof, condemning you, even for the new generation. Everyone has condemnation for this. They may say they are not burdened, obsessed, that sex is not a taboo for them. But you cannot unburden your unconscious. That image of the man or a woman that you have within you, you have not created it. It is in deep unconscious. It has been built over centuries and centuries. The whole human past is there. So while you may not be condemning it as sin consciously, but deep down it is there. The unconscious is there, constantly condemning it. You are never totally into it. You say you enter into it joyfully, but in the midway somewhere you consider that it is wrong, I should have not been into it. The unconscious is constantly condemning it. You are never totally into it. Something is always left out. That left out, that creates the split within you. That's why almost everyone is split within their mind. Out of that, psychology says the left brain and the right brain comes into existence. There are many ways and means through which you can create the balance within you. We have been taught not to use the left hand for any reason. We are right-handed. In America, we drive on the right-hand side. So, when you are using the right side of the body, it is connected with the left side of the brain. and vice versa. You can use the left hand, left side of the body to activate the right side of the brain. Very simple way. Even in simple ways and means, we are accustomed drinking water or tea with the right hand. Why can't you drink it with hold the cup with the left hand? Why you don't use the both hands? So in that, the left side of the body has become weaker. When the left side of the body is weaker, the right side of the brain naturally gets weakened. Tantra says, Tantra uses sex as a vehicle. It says, move into it totally, forget yourself, your civilization, your religion, your culture, your ideology, your priest, everything. Forget everything. Just move into the act of sex totally. Do not leave anything at all. Someone be absolutely non-thinking. Only then does the awareness happen that you have become one with someone. And this feeling of oneness can then be detached from the partner, and it can be used with the whole universe. It is said when Buddha became enlightened, Brahma, the creator, came to him. He said, now that you have become enlightened, what next? He said, I am not the only one who became enlightened. Instead, the entire universe has become enlightened with me. The plants, the rivers, the mountains, the animals, the birds, everything has become enlightened. Every human being has become enlightened. You get the vision how that happens. You are in a dark room, sitting down. You are in dark. That is a state before enlightenment happens. Someone comes in and says, why are you sitting in darkness? He said, I don't know any other thing. So he puts on the switch, and as soon as the switch is put on, everything gets illumined in the room. Does it not happen? Everything that is there, as far as the light reflection goes on, everything becomes illumined in one way or the other. But it gets illumined. In the same way, when an individual becomes enlightened, with him, for him, everything becomes enlightened. This is one aspect of this story, when Buddha became enlightened. The other part of this story is when Buddha took Mahaparinirvana, he entered the doors of heaven. He did not go in. Brahma said, why are you not coming in? He said, I cannot enter until everyone comes with me. These seem to be two different stories, but they are two sides of the same story. The moment you become enlightened, everything becomes enlightened with you, as I have given you the example. You are sitting in your room in darkness, you know nothing about the switch. Where is the light switch? Or you have gone to somebody's house and the person has gone and the light has not been turned on. So the moment light is turned on, everything in the room gets illumined. So when Buddha entered Mahaparinirvana, with him everyone entered into that. So these are the two sides of the same story. So when you are in love, using sex as a vehicle, although you are involved with one man or a woman, but through that person becomes the door for you to enter the universe, the existence. You are in act of sex with one person, but you can be with the whole universe. You can be in sex with a tree. That does not mean you are going to make love. This can happen with the moon, with anything. Once you know how to create, sex does not mean the use of genitals. It is completing the circle of energy. You are energy, anima. The female is the energy, animus. As happens in the bulb, the circuit is completed, it becomes a circle. There is no opening. That is why the bulb illumines, gives you illumination. And when we measure this, we measure it as what is the life of the bulb means. It is measured in terms of illumination, hours of illumination. You can be in a sex act when the circle of the energy, the male and female, the anima and animus is completed, forms a circle. Sex is useful if it can transform you. If the energy becomes a circle and begins to move in a circle, otherwise it is perverted. It cannot transform you. It can transform only when the energy begins to move in a circle. With anything, this can happen. Once you know how to create the circle of energy, it can be created with anything and even without anything. You are sitting yourself. Meditation means what? Creating the circle of that energy within you. The circle of energy between anima and animus, Shiva and Shakti, between the right and the left side of the brain, the energy becomes a circle. You can create this circle within yourself because you are both man and woman. Half of you biologically, if I point out to you, half of you is ovum and half of you is a sperm that came from the parents. When ovum and sperm, they united, the circle was completed. Out of that, a body was formed. You can create this circle within yourself because you are both man and a woman. And woman too is both man and woman. You are both because you are created by two. Bulb is created by two, the positive current and the negative current. You are created by man and woman both, so half of you remains the other. You can forget everything completely, and the circle can be created within you. Only circle is completed only when you have forgotten everything. Your ideologies, your conditionings, your priest, your religion, your belief system. Once the circle is created in you, there is the meeting of the inner man and inner woman. This is what Shiva's Ardhanarishwar form is. Half male, half female. Your man is meeting with your woman inside. Your woman is meeting the man inside. And unless this happens, your search for the image that you have in your unconscious about the man or woman will never be fulfilled. And the marriage, the way it is, after some time each relationship breaks down. You are in an embrace within yourself. And only when the circle is created within, then real celibacy happens. Otherwise, all celibacies are just perversions, and then they create their own problems. In the churches, they are celibate, but what happens in the name of celibacy, it is well known throughout the world. When the circle is created inside, you are freed, and this freedom is transformation, and out of that transcendental state comes in. This is what Tantra says. Sex is the deepest bondage, yet it can be used for highest freedom. Tantra says poison can be used as a medicine, as we all know. But wisdom is needed to use poison as a remedy. There is a particular medicine in homeopathy called Canthrus vasifora. Vasifora is an insect. Out of the poison of that, Canthrus is extracted. And this is very good when you have urinary tract problems. Poison can be used as a medicine, but for that, wisdom is needed. So do not condemn anything, rather use it wisely, and do not be against anything. Find out ways how it can be used and transformed. Tantra is a deep, total acceptance of life. It is the only approach of its own kind. All over the world, in all the centuries that have gone by, Tantra remains unique. It says, do not throw anything, and do not be against anything, and do not create any conflict. We use banana, for instance, and we throw the banana skins. You know what are the benefits of banana skin? Go and search it on Google and you will know. Nothing is a waste. You consume a water bottle, you drink the water and throw the empty bottle as garbage. It is reused. Now, using this plastic, it is converted into granules. Out of that, plastic is reused, and also now it is used with bitumen to make the roads. And the roads that are made with plastic granules, the waste plastic, they are much stronger and better roads than the other roads made with bitumen alone. This technology is being used in the West, in India and other countries. So Tantra says, do not throw anything, do not be against it, do not create any conflict, because with conflict, the process of destruction begins. And you will be destructive with yourself, as everyone is destructive with oneself. All the religions are against sex. They are afraid of it because it is such a great energy, just like atomic energy. Once you are in it, you are no more. You cannot be enslaved by any religion or by priest. You are enslaved simply because you are against it. And then the current will take you anywhere. That is why we are afraid of swimming. So create a barrier in which you and the current become two. You are never one with the current. The moment you are with the current, you are flowing, that becomes swimming. That becomes floating. First it is swimming. Everyone begins with swimming and then begins to float. So create a barrier in which you and current become two, and do not allow this energy to have any possession of you, because once you do not allow this energy to possess you, you will become the master. Tantra says that is this mastery that has been imposed upon you by your cultures, ideologies, belief system is false, it is diseased, pathological, because you cannot be really divided with this current. You are it. You are energy. So all the divisions are false, arbitrary, and basically no division is possible because you are the current. You are part and parcel of it. Just wave in it. You can become frozen. You can separate yourself from the current. But this frozenness will be deadly, will be deadness. Only this much for this morning, until we meet again for the continuation. Take care and do have a pleasant day.